Yes guys, what is going on? So this video today is going to be covering the 3 steps you need to take when you fall off track. So get your pen and paper down, write this stuff down because it will be really helpful for you all. So when you go off track, what we really need to think about is what has actually happened. What you've basically done is you've taken action out of alignment with your goals. So you've placed short-term pleasure above your long-term goal. This doesn't feel great and can lead to a really unpleasant cycle, which we will go into.
Yeah, so the next time you do, quote-unquote, fall off track, instead of telling yourself, oh, I've fallen off track, I want you to say, okay, I've just acted out of alignment with my goal, and that kind of, it changes your perspective with it a little bit. I think off track, it just sounds so negative, when the reality is you've just taken action, usually like one action that's slightly out of alignment with your goal.
Yeah.
So
we don't use the term cheat meals around here, or
off track even,
off track,
on track. Like, no, it's just, each decision you've got is either going to be in alignment with your goals or not so aligned with your goals. So when you come from it from that point of view, it just sort of makes things a lot clearer as well. So let's go over the 3 steps. So what to actually do when you do, quote unquote, take action out of alignment with your goal. So, do you want to start on me?
You start. I think you're quite good at covering this one.
Okay. So step number 1 is we want you to take responsibility. So step number 1, take responsibility for your actions. You know, we're all adults, we're all grown-ups. We don't want you putting excuses onto other people, events, situations, your mood. You know, scrap the excuses and just simply take ownership of the action that you've taken. And what that's going to do is it is going to empower you. It's going to be like, you know, just take ownership, just own it. Just be like, yep, damn, okay, I've done this. That's that. Like, you know, let's move on. Instead of then just being like, oh, well, you know, I had to do that because of this, and you'll start creating all these stories in your head.
I've always used this food for comfort. I have depression, so I can't do this.
Yeah.
You know, all these thoughts and comments are disempowering and belittling to yourself at the end of the day as well.
Yeah, so just by simply taking responsibility and taking ownership, you give yourself the power, basically. You stop putting the power on other people and circumstances, and you bring the power back into your hands. So you'll find that you'll subconsciously probably start making excuses and telling yourself all these stories, but just be like, no, okay, you know, I didn't actually have to do that. It was on me. I'm going to take responsibility. I'm going to own it. And yeah, like I said, that will then give you the power. So step number 1, take responsibility.
Step number 2 is self-compassion. So self-compassion, it must be practiced. Have you ever actually taken note of what you say to yourself? So your self-talk can be so damaging, and you sort of need to look at it like you wouldn't talk to your friend that way. So you've taken responsibility for whatever it is that you've done. If you've gone over your calories or whatever most of the time it's I've gone over my calories. You know, I've eaten not on my base meal plan, and this is where so many of you just go into self-destruct mode. Do you know what I mean? You start blaming yourself, you start blaming other situations.
And you start self-bullying. That's what it is. You'll start telling yourself all these things in your head, like, you're so shit, you can't do this, you're worthless. And that's what you need to really take control of.
And what you've done is actually fine. It is completely fine. It's all in the past. Just forget about it. Let's now reassess where we are and get back into alignment with our goals so we can progress forward.
Yeah, so basically self-compassion is just being okay with what you've done. Being like, right, okay, it's fine. you know what, I've got the power to turn this around, I can do it, and basically be your biggest cheerleader instead of going down the other route and completely self-bullying, tearing yourself down. So step number 1, take responsibility. Step number 2, have self-compassion. Step number 3, plan of action.
Plan of action. Sorry, I don't know if you want to take this one.
No, it's all right. You can start.
So at the end of the day, your goals won't lie. You will only achieve them if you consistently take action over a long period of time. So we'll make sure that the next decision that you make is in alignment with your goals. Instead of, like I said, going back to the previous slide there, just constantly tearing yourself apart, beating yourself up about it. It's what action can we now take to now progress forward and get you back in alignment with your goals.
Yeah, and it really is that simple. Like, you don't need to overcomplicate it. You don't need to reduce a shit ton of calories the next day. You don't need to go and do an hour's cardio to undo the calories that you've eaten. All it is the next decision that you make in terms of whether it's actually getting your ass off the sofa to go to the gym, or whether it's the way that you talk to yourself, or whether it's the meal that you're making for yourself. All these next decisions that you are making, they just need to be in alignment with your goal, and that is how simple it is. You are now, quote unquote, back on track.
Yeah. And even if you are working towards like a time frame, and maybe the time frame has to be extended a little bit, at least you're back in alignment with working towards the goal that we originally set out to reach, instead of just tearing yourself apart, beating yourself up about it. Like, you are your own person. Feeding yourself with negative comments is only just going to breed more negativity. So we want to be we want to own what's happened, whatever's gone on. It's in the past. Let's get back on track, back in alignment with your goals.
You've got the power, you've got the control, the next decision is on you, and ultimately your results are going to come from that very next decision that you make. So what we don't want to happen is for you to firstly not take responsibility, and then for you to not have self-compassion, because then you'll basically just be pushing the blame on everyone else and talking to yourself in a really horrible way, which will lead to the victim mindset, which basically will just be a vicious circle. You'll just end up repeating the same actions and not getting anywhere at all, and you'll just keep finding yourself in this rut. So by doing these 3 simple steps, you might have a little slip up here and there, but more often than not, you're just going to pick yourself back up and just carry on. And that is how you are going to get the best results. And enjoy the process. What are you doing?
So I was just clicking on these slides here.
Yeah, those are the 3 steps.
Yep. So step 1.
Take responsibility.
Take responsibility. Step number 2. Plan of action.
No.
Oh, sorry, that's step number 3. Step number 2.
Self-compassion.
Self-compassion. Step number 3 is plan of action.
Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. So we hope these steps helped you. We're going to just keep this video short and sweet for you. We will be having a workshop coming that's going to be a bit more in-depth and longer for you on this topic. So keep an eye out for that. But let us know how you found this and if it is helpful for you. And of course, as and when you do quote unquote go off track or act out of alignment with your goals, please come to me or Jordan, whoever your coach is, and just talk to us. Again, this is what we're here for. We're here to help you overcome these things, and we're not going to beat you up and tear you down. We're here to help you overcome the obstacles that you are facing. So yeah.
Sending
lots of love.